What the biggest takeaway for me was things that were working on like some of the people here. No, I didn't even know that they wouldn't work against some of the females down there.
The AllStar app, the #1 app in the business. UFC, Bellator, One Championship, PFL, and more. Get the app right now. Link in description. MMA is fucked up. Episode 4, the Charter, and and the story of the guy. Like you said, it's almost unbelievable. But you, as yourself, right, training with men, have you kicked anyone so hard that you felt bad for them?
Every time that I kick somebody or knee them or anything like that, every time I do feel bad. But I mean, that story I think was made up. I've never kicked somebody or anything so hard that they puked and shit. Like it was, come on, that was too much.
Yeah. What about vice versa? I've spoken to like Mackenzie Dern and who else is the other fighter? Yan Xiaonan. They both told me that they've been kicked in that area during fights and have it has caused damage. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah, like I've been fortunate. I mean, knock on wood
Mhm.
that I haven't been kicked there hard enough that it's like caused any issues. But I can see how it could.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that kind of leads into the next piece of news that we saw recently is Laura Sanko becoming the first female color commentator in UFC history, which is phenomenal news. And I think this is great news because she can give the perspective of a woman's fighter. Like the men can't do that. You know what I mean? They can't. And she's fought and she trains and all of that stuff. How good is that for you, the women in the UFC?
I think that's amazing. Like I honestly, Laura Seiko has always been like awesome at interviews. She's so quick. She's so good that I think it's just gonna add just so much more to the all the rest of the staff, and I think it's gonna be great, especially for women's MMA.
Yeah, and the fans, I think that when they're listening to her, they'll understand like what's going on a little bit better.
I think so too. Yeah.
Now for yourself, February 25th, you're going to be back in action. Your original opponent was Courtney Casey. She was pulled. What exactly happened with that?
I'm not entirely sure what happened with that. I just got a message from Mick saying Courtney's out and this Gabriella is stepping in. So I don't know. We just changed up the game plan and, fighting a southpaw kicker now.
All right, Gabriella Fernandes, she's a LFL champion, making her UFC debut. Thoughts on her and the style that she possesses?
I mean, she looks solid. She's tough, obviously. She's in the UFC for a reason. She's gonna be good, but yeah, I think it's a good matchup for me. I'm really looking forward to getting back in there and just like showing everything that I've been working on since my last fight.
Yeah, you've been away and working for about, let's say, 8 months now. It seems like. How did you spend your time before heading into the training camp for this upcoming fight?
Training before training camp. That's it. All I do every day, like twice a day, is train. That's all I know. That's all I do. I love training. I love learning. I love all everything new. And so camp changes a little bit. I'm just more aware of like banging out my body. I don't, out of camp. If I get a little injury, if I get push myself a little bit too much, then it's no big deal. But in camp, you got to get the card of the race to win the race. So we're a lot more like strategic, and my coaches are good about like choosing the right partners for me to go with, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
Are you like 100% engrossed into your career, or do you have something that balances everything out so you don't go crazy?
No, I just go crazy. No, other than training and fighting, I love cooking, and
Mhm.
so I think that's my yin to the yang. But yeah, other than that, I train and I cook. That's about it.
Any like future ideas of cooking, showing like what you cook, maybe a little show or something? Do you have anything in the works?
I mean, I got nothing in the works right now. Like, so right now, like, my dream after fighting when I'm retired and everything is to somehow integrate cooking with martial arts, but I don't know for sure if that will be able to happen. But if not, then I would love to. I used to work at a youth homeless shelter, so I really like deal like helping at risk youth, and I know for sure that they'll I can integrate the those two worlds. I know for sure that I would be able to. So I don't know yet what I want to do with it, but something along those lines.
Do you do your own nutrition?
Uh kind of not. I kind of use a group. I'll use obviously the people from the Performance Institute. They're always great resources. But a teammate of mine, good friend of mine, Aaron Jeffries, also fighting soon. He's a nutritionist and he helps me with everything. All always leading up in my amateur and my pro career before the UFC, he was my go-to guy, and my weight cuts have always been very good. So so I stick with him, and any time I have a question, I ask him.
Throughout your career, what major tweaks have you made to your diet that have been beneficial for performance?
I'm always very aware of like protein, fats, carb, and then veg. Every meal that I have, I make sure that I have all of them. And I'm pretty like, I want my food to taste good. So I feel like martial arts has really taught me how to cook with different spices and use different ingredients to kind of trim the fat. Like I don't really use sour cream anymore. I'll use like, plain Greek yogurt, or I actually find that other, like just plain yogurt, not Greek, tastes more similar to sour cream. So just like little tweaks on like how to change things to be a bit more healthy.
Back to fighting. Your last fight against Natalia Silva, you went all 15 minutes with her. When Bruce Buffer was announcing the winner, you look visibly disappointed in what happened. To take us through that fight and give us your thoughts on the performance.
Yeah, so obviously I wasn't successful, didn't get my hand raised at the end of that one. So that one was tough. We kind of had the wrong game plan for that girl, and I believe I step in there again with her, and I think I get that win. But that's besides the point. I mean, it wasn't my night that night, and it sucked. It was a shitty situation. Like I got desperate by the end, and I was trying, but I definitely learned a lot from that experience, and I'm thankful for that experience to propel me to be able. Nothing like to fire under your ass more than having that loss like weighing on you. So I've been working like tooth and nail since that loss.
How important is it to fight to the end? Because sometimes you see fighters, once they realize that it's not working, you kind of see them be very tentative, right? But fighting to the end, I mean, it shows a part of a fighter, right? Like that they're not going to give up.
Yeah, I think that's like the fighter's character. I think it's important to fight to the end, because you're not out. You see it happen. There's people that there'll be the last 5 seconds, the last 3 seconds left in a match, and they get a sub, or they get whatever it may be. If you don't fight to the end, you're giving up before you need to, and I think it's important. I think that translates in life too. Don't give up before it's the end. Keep try. I think it's important.
Yeah, we've seen it in championship fights in the last year or so, right? Like just crazy.
Exactly. You never know.
Yeah, people give it up, like fans are leaving, and then all of a sudden, fifth round comes, and then boom, we have a new
Ex-
champion.
exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now for this training camp, I see that you went down to American Top Team, so you just kind of split it in half, like the training.
Yeah, I split in half. I went down to ATT for like 3.5 weeks, and then I'm back here for 3 weeks, and it's gonna be good. Yeah, I think it's great because I got a lot of looks from the girls out there. Kind of found out what works, what doesn't work, and now back with my team, fine tuning on all the little things, and just I can't wait. Fight week can't come fast enough.
Yeah, how is it, taking the skills that you learn at home and going down there against like the high level fighters, high level sparring partners, and testing it out and watching things work?
Yeah, watching things work, and what the biggest takeaway for me was things that were working on, like some of the people here. No, I didn't even know that they wouldn't work against some of the females down there. So it was like, oh, well, just pretend everyone's a black belt. It's like, yeah, I already do that, but how am I supposed to know that this thing that I like didn't wouldn't work? Like how I can't already comprehend that. So so it's nice to get those looks and go with the girls. There's no easy rounds, and to see really what's working and what doesn't work is it's so beneficial for me. It's having all the training partners, all the different looks. I don't have the experience. I didn't grow up doing martial arts, and so for me to go to other places and get the experience from other people, it really pays dividends for me, I feel like.
Who drew you to American Top Team? Is there someone that you know or you've known?
I mean, the champ, obviously, Joanna. She's the superstar, and so she wasn't there for most of the time I was there, but the last couple of days she showed up, and I got to train with her, and it was obviously like amazing. But you know, there's so many people at ATT that like represent the gym so well. It's a very well known gym, and I knew that they had a good solid group of girls around my size, so I thought that that would be a good fit. My management, they're in Florida anyway, so they had a good relationship with them and set it all up, and now I love it.
Who else did you get to work with, outside of Joanna?
So all the girls that are there, Michelle Montegu, she's fighting soon in PFL. There's a group of them that are there. Estelle Nunez, she was there. Uh, a girl Talita, she really helped with a lot of jujitsu with me, and there, Marina, I got to train with her a little bit. Last time I was there, Carolina was there. But I could keep going. There's so many girls there.
Yeah, how important is it to get the different looks, different styles, and different body types? You know what I mean? I know you're fighting one particular person, but it's great to have like these different people come in, right? And it's like a new challenge every round.
That's exactly it. And it's cool because like some of the girls will be like, say, world champion in like kickboxing, and then there'll be other ones that are like judo, or there'll be jujitsu. And so like seeing people that are masters in one discipline and seeing how they put it together for MMA, and for me to have to go against that style and like really have to figure it out at like the people that are at the kind of peak of it. It's such a interesting, like, fun puzzle to solve.
And then you take that knowledge and go back home and you could teach the people there some things that you learned, right, as well. It's just so crazy how martial arts works out like that.
Yeah, it's like the best sport in the world.
Yeah, yeah. For yourself, how do you want to bounce back against Fernandez in this next fight?
I'm just looking to get my hand raised at the end of this one. I'm not gonna try to do any crazy things. I'm not gonna try to be wily. I just want to get the win.
It seems like there's certain fighters that they're just there to kind of entertain more than anything, and sometimes it doesn't work out for them too well, and they end up getting cut real quick. You know what I mean? The victory for someone like you in this point in your career, I think, is it more important than anything else? Like, like impressing somebody or anything like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think this one I got to get back in the win column. I mean, maybe there's other fights that it will be the time to get crazy again. I feel like, Contender Series. Of course, it's like you got to go for the finish in that. But yeah, right now I'm playing it safe and just gonna go for the win.
February 25th, UFC Fight Night. Go in the descriptions, download the AllStar app. Thank you, Jasmine, for the time and all the best in the next fight. I can't wait to see the improvements that you made, because you just talked about like going to this camp and going back home and training, and it's interesting to me, like how you gonna perform.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I can't wait. February 25th can't come fast enough.